This is example 9 of lab 7. We have the following function, f of x equals the square root of 3x minus 2, and we want to figure out what the domain is. To look at the domain, we start with the domain of negative infinity to infinity, which is all real numbers, unless we have the following situations where whatever value of x it could be could possibly result in something being divided by 0, or taking the even root of a negative number. So we're going to look at our function. We have the square root of 3x minus 2. There's no fraction in this function, so there's no case where we can divide by 0. So this one does not matter anymore. So we look at number 2. You cannot take the even root of a negative number. We have a square root here. A square root is a even root. And there is a possibility that depending on what x is, this whole part inside could turn out to be negative. So we are going to look at number 2 to restrict our domain for f of x. So to do that, when we talk about an even root, everything inside of here cannot be negative. And the reason that is because if it's negative, it would be an imaginary number. It would not be a real number. And when we're talking about domain, we care about real numbers. So everything inside of here has to be not negative. So that's everything greater or equal than 0, right? So we're going to set 3x minus 2 greater or equal than 0. So that's not negative. And then we're going to solve for x. So we're going to add 2. So we have 3x is greater than or equal to 2. And then we're going to divide by 3. So we have x is greater than or equal to 2/3. So drawing that on a number line, so we can later write our domain in interval notation. We have negative infinity on the left and infinity on the right. Our x value of importance is 2/3. And it can be 2/3. So it's going to be a closed circle and has to be greater than 2/3. So our x value that can be in here can be anywhere from 2/3, and this would be 0 in that case, which is fine, or it has to be greater than 2/3 so that the inside of here is not negative. So our x value can be anything in this area, which means our domain is anything, and it's a closed bracket because it does include 2/3, 2/3 to infinity. And we always have a open parenthesis to show infinity.